大家好，我叫爱丽丝，和现在我学习中文。You know, it is a most rainy and forgettable, depressing day here in the worst city in the world, Lexington, Kentucky. So I thought, you know, what better way to spice it up than to talk about the thing I've been focusing on since the beginning of January, which is Chinese. If you follow my Instagram, Elysse Speaks, you know that I've been focusing on Mandarin Chinese since the beginning of January because I have a trip to Qingdao, China at the end of February. And you know, given that this is my first real Asian language, like I have this much experience with Korean, but this is like the first time I'm delving into Asian languages. It feels like, you know, everything feels new. Usually you don't have to focus so much on the writing system like when I studied French, Portuguese, German, etc. So, you know, I was scared about that at first initially, but with my handy dandy self-designed study plan that I showed on my Instagram page just a little bit ago, I found a way to make it not so overwhelming. Realistically, I'm trying to achieve maybe 2.5 to 3 hours a day of Chinese study. So yeah, I've narrowed it down to like 5 different resources: Coffee Break Chinese, Hello Chinese and Chinesey, Hello Talk, and Mandarin Corner. So I've devised like a pretty good routine at this point. I'm about 10 days in, so we just passed a week, and I feel like I can keep it up. I do. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys how I fit Chinese into my everyday routine. And just to be clear, this isn't like a my entire day routine video. It's just like at different parts of the day, what do I do to maintain my Chinese. So first we got to talk about Chinesey. So I wake up every day and I usually, you know, stretch and do whatever, and I immediately do 20 minutes of Chinesey. It's a really great app. They use like pictographs that correlate to the character to help you remember it better. So if you're a visual learner like me, this is worth like its weight in gold. It's so great, and I usually do about 20 minutes, which is just like learning 4 or 5 new characters, and then with the remaining time I go through and make sure that I review as much as I can. So it's good because it's the first thing I see when I wake up. It's the first things that come out of my mouth, so it really helps me to kind of set the rhythm, get going. And then when I'm done with that, I'll usually come back to my room and do the other half of like my morning app study, which is with Hello Chinese. I can attest to it. This is also a great app for beginners because it not only teaches you like useful phrases for common stuff like money, fruit, introducing yourself. You know, you can choose if you want pinyin or not. It does speaking exercises, it does writing exercises with pinyin. It really is flexible, and it's kind of good to, you know, like dip your foot into. And I'll do this for 20 minutes too. So for both the apps, I just do 20 minutes because that's really about, you know, all that it takes to learn a new lesson and to review. And then I kind of leave it alone until like the mid-afternoon or the late afternoon, just so I can, you know, work, you know, go shopping, do laundry or whatever I have to do. Then maybe around like 2 or 3 o'clock, I usually come back to it, and I like to watch Mandarin Corner videos. I love this channel so much. I don't know if you guys know about it, but go subscribe to Eileen's channel. She does amazing work, and it's really good because they have like videos about culture and like, you know, common problems in China, like the Shengyu. American English teachers get paid way more than the Chinese assistants that help them and stuff like that. So it really gives insight on like what everyday life is like in China. Because, you know, in a lot of ways the media of China is like closed off to us. So it really helps that we can get insight into these issues and, you know, learn about the culture and the, you know, like everyday life in the country while we learn about the language. And I always think that's important, of course, but like especially in my case because I'm going there like very soon. I even said it on my Instagram when I announced that I was going. I was like, I've never been in a country like this soon after starting to learn the language, so it's like gonna be a new experience, you know? I didn't go to Germany for the first time until I'd been studying it for like 4 years. So the fact that when I arrive in China, I'll only have been studying for like 2 months is like freaky, I guess? I don't know, it kind of is a great motivator also, but yeah. Anyways, what was I saying? Mandarin Corner is great. They also have pinyin on most videos. You know, it's good because you start with English, you go to pinyin. You know, I watch it twice throughout the video. You know, the first time so that I can, you know what the topic is about, and then the second time I'm not relying on the English so much, and I'm, you know, looking through the pinyin and knowing which characters I'm recognizing. And they're not long videos, most of them. They're only like 9 to 12 minutes, so it's, you know, like maybe 20 or 30 minutes I dedicate to that part. Yeah, you guys are gonna find that most of these resources are based on like speaking and listening, because I think that's most important if I'm traveling so soon, because I need to know how to speak, you know, not how to read 400 characters. So yeah, and then after Mandarin Corner, I'll usually go into like a grammar topic or just like, you know, researching something that's solely linguistic, because I do have this list of like, okay, first I wrote a paragraph of all the things I wanted to be able to say by the end of March, and then under it I wrote like grammar points that are necessary for it. So actually let me go get it really quick. So this is her. It just says like things that I want to be able to say in Chinese by the end of March. So there's this paragraph, it has like, hi, how's it going? My name is Elysse, I'm 19 years old, my favorite thing to do is learn languages, and then you see under it, there's like name and last name, greetings, and how are you? Nationalities, age, hobbies, languages, question words, etc. So it's like specific things that I can research to kind of supplement my learning, because I'm not going to learn how to say all this stuff just from like Chinese and Hello Chinese. So I usually just research like how to say blank in Chinese, how to say your age in Chinese, how to say different nationalities in Chinese, and then I'll find like Rocket Languages is usually one of the first pages that shows up. I'm not picky about websites at all, you know, I just use whatever. But I usually take notes and I practice speaking it out loud, and I usually record the notes in this little notebook. So let's see. So you see this is when I was studying age and numbers together. So like sometimes with these little like grammar points, I'll study 2 of them together if it makes sense to study them together. Then after studying like grammar points, I'll usually leave it alone again for another couple hours until right before I'm about to go to bed. That's when I crack open Hello Talk. So Hello Talk is also super awesome because you can get in contact, you know, directly with native speakers. In the past, I was literally like posting pictures of my notes on my story and being like, hey, German speakers, can you correct me? And it was like so ghetto because I didn't really know what you could use the app for. Like I was literally using Instagram for corrections, and like, I'm so sorry, that must have been so annoying. But anyways, so like this app is super awesome because you can ask for corrections, ask for help with the translation, your pronunciation and stuff like that. A lot of people also use it like a social media app where they just post stuff like a status on Facebook. I personally don't, because it's like I just get a million messages being like, hey, be my friend, be my friend, be my friend, and like it's all guys. I know you don't want to be my friend, okay? But it's been really helpful because some people like go in parentheses, they got a ... examples, and it's like, whoa. And it's been really useful for like my biggest struggle with Chinese, which has been tones. I am right now trying to find a good balance between like over-pronouncing them and not using them at all. Yeah, because, you know, at the beginning I was like, 我说中文, and it was like, you don't need to do that, girl. So, you know, like, advice from native speakers is, you know, I always try to get that contact like from day one. Yeah. So I'll usually post like a minute-long audio of using my words, making sentences in any capacity. Some days I'm more tired than others, and some days I miss it. That goes without saying for like all of these steps. I'm waving my hands so fucking much. I'm gonna sit on my hands. Okay. So I was just gonna say, go download this app. It's been super useful. Not sponsored. Wish it was. Need some coin. I do need some coin. So if Hello Talk, like if you see this, anyways, then like after the audio, right before I go to bed, I usually fall asleep to like an episode of Coffee Break Chinese. It's okay to listen to like a podcast in Chinese when you're a beginner because, you know, I kind of only learn to speak it and you don't know what the characters are. That's a question that I also got about Coffee Break Chinese is like, do you take notes? And no, because I can't learn the character with the pinyin. You can tell what the pinyin is by just hearing it, but I feel like it's not good for me to learn the characters separately or to just like come back with a list of pinyin and like match it to something. It just doesn't feel as right as like when you learn it together and you're seeing it visually. So I usually fall asleep listening to an episode, and I usually wake up like 3 hours later with it still playing the playlist of all the episodes, and then I usually turn it off if we're being completely honest. Okay, but I try to stay awake through the whole thing so that I can turn it off because I don't know how to just play one episode of something on Spotify. If you guys have figured that out, please tell me because I'm really tired of that happening. Anyways, but that is it, and then I wake up and I do it all over again. And like I said earlier, it goes without saying that I don't hit every single one of these steps every day. That's why I have a little checkbox so I can track it and see, you know, visually like what's most effective and what resources do I really stick to. It got super sunny for like no reason. If you click back to the beginning of this video, it was like very dark. I don't know what happened. I don't even need you anymore. I mean, I wasn't doing that much in the first place, but anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible. If you like discipline yourself and you know what resources work for you, then you can definitely, you know, get progress really quickly in a language, especially one that you don't have to learn a new writing system for. Like if this was Italian, I would already be speaking mad Italian right now. Anyways, about, you know, what I mentioned in my last video that I'm going to China, I'm even more excited now because I know that I'll be able to communicate with my family and order my own food, and it just, you know, it motivates me more to know that it's going to be of use to me. like really soon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful, gave you a little bit of insight. And if you're, you know, like on the fence about studying Chinese, just do it. There's no rules. You can take baby steps. You can depend on pinyin for a whole year if you have to. I just can't afford to do that because I'm gonna be in China very soon. It doesn't feel like the otherworldly entity that like English speakers make Mandarin seem. You can go follow me on my Instagram if you want. It's at Elysse Speaks. That's ELYSSESPEAKS. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye! 再见! Why the fuck why is everybody driving today? Can you guys just like stay inside for once? Sorry, this is why I just want everybody to ride like Heelys. Why did we ever abandon Heelys? Why is the world so loud? Anyways, it's so hot in here I can't even breathe. Mom, it's really hot. I don't know how to turn down the thermostat. Oh, I'll do it. Okay, thank you. I love being an adult.